Thanks for joining us on TVC News at 7. We'll start off this hour in Abuja, where the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has announced that the park and pay policy in Abuja is no longer recognized as a legitimate operation. The minister made this known during a live media chat with journalists, where he also spoke on his achievements in the last 1 year. Senior reporter Habida Lawal was there.
The yardstick for assessing Nyesom Wike as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory will be a review of his performance in some critical sectors ranging from transportation, infrastructure, housing, environmental, security, education, health, economic development, and many more. At this interface with newsmen, he recounts the challenges the FCT administration faced in setting the nation's capital on the path of prosperity. The minister declared that the park and pay policy is now illegal in the FCT.
Look, sometimes I disguise myself. I'll tell my agency to drive. No security, nothing. Then before you stop, you see someone coming. The one they see my face, they start running away. So you can imagine what is happening to other people. So
Nyesom Wike has said the crisis in Rivers State and the People's Democratic Party has not affected his performance in office. He says there's no room for reconciliation when there's no integrity.
Anybody they think calls my phone or relates with me is the weakest person. Therefore, the person must go. When you do that, what I try to let me do, I should fold my arms. The acting National Party chairman today is not my friend. He never supported me. The National Secretary, he never supported me. The National Organizing Secretary never supported me. In fact, when I was in Germany, in Wiesbaden, when the National Secretary today wanted to run governorship against Hope Uzodinma, he came to me for support. I said, I'm not going to support you.
Some members in the PDP recently called for sanctions on the minister for alleged anti-party activities, but the minister insists he is more focused on his work rather than respond to political banters. For FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, there is no dropping the ball, as all the 6 area councils will now experience all-round development. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
And staying in the nation's capital, acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Umar Damago, has inaugurated 2 committees for national reconciliation of aggrieved members and disciplinary issues. Mr. Damago asked committees to discharge their duty with courage and ensure the issues that have affected the party are resolved. The disciplinary committee also has a mandate to take action against members who have acted contrary to the constitution of the party.
Of the party faithful has kept the party going and still the party to beat in the country. Since inception, the party has evolved various mechanisms in addressing its internal conflicts. This includes reconciliation, disciplinary measure, and other initiatives that embody fairness and equity. It is against this background that you have been selected to carry out this task. You have been selected to these committees because of your experience and unwavering commitment to the party ideals, fairness, and resourcefulness. I urge you to share all personal and proxy interests as you.
Staying with politics, the Benue State High Court in Makurdi has restrained the leadership of the All Progressives Congress from dissolving the party's executives led by Osina Gada. Mr. Gada had approached the court seeking an order to stop the APC from terminating his appointment before the end of his 4-year tenure. A copy of the order via an experte granted by Justice Teresa Igoche was made available to newsmen at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja. The court particularly directed the Abdullahi Ganduje-led National Working Committee not to remove Osina Gada-led State Working Committee until the expiration of the 4-year tenure. The Benue State chapter of the APC is split along the lines of Governor Hyacinth Alia, who is in support of Benjamin Omakolo-led faction. A lawmaker representing Idiato North and South Federal Constituency of Imo State at the House of Representatives, Ikenga Ugochinyere, has called on the police to channel its energy in curbing insecurity in the country. Mr. Ugochinyere was reacting to the invitation extended to the President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, by the police for alleged terrorism financing. The invitation generated outrage even as the Labour body threatened to embark on a nationwide strike and protests. Reacting to the incident, Mr. Ugochinyere warns that any attempt by the police to detain the Labour leader may lead to protests by Labour unions. Let's turn our attention now to security matters. Air component of Operation Hadinkai has killed 5 terrorist commanders and 35 others in an air interdiction mission in southern Tombos, that's in Benue State. A statement signed by Director of Public Relations and Information of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet, the terrorist commanders were believed to have been present at the location during the operation. The statement also mentioned that before the mission, intelligence had revealed the migration of terrorists into the area from neighboring locations. It says the efforts further weakened the activities of other terrorists operating in the northeast and protecting innocent citizens. Meanwhile, the federal government and the United Nations are seeking to strengthen Nigeria's capacity to support and protect the rights of victims of terrorism based on the model legislative provisions. The support will be funded by the United Nations Office of Counterterrorism and the U.S. Department of State. Moyo Thomas reports.
It is the 7th commemoration of the International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to Victims of Terrorism. Nigeria is one of the countries gravely affected by the impact of terrorism. About 30,000 Nigerians reportedly died, with over 2.4 million displaced by the Boko Haram terrorism, which escalated cases of humanitarian needs in the country. This building, the UN House, 13 years ago, was attacked by a suicide bomber, killing 23 staff and partners, leaving over 60 people with varying degrees of injury. This year's commemoration focuses on victims of terrorism as peace advocates and educators.
Today we pay tribute to the victims and survivors of terrorism around the world who have striven to transform their personal tragedies into collective strengths. And we emphasize the importance of heeding their voices when they advocate for peace-building initiatives while fostering dialogue and promoting understanding amongst diverse communities.
We should heed their voice when they advocate for peace-building initiatives, while also fostering dialogue and promoting understanding among diverse communities.
Over the years, efforts to significantly advance the International Victims of Terrorism agenda have encompassed acts of solidarity and unity by the international community and by member states in establishing national frameworks to support victims and survivors through strengthened capacity building initiatives. We applaud these efforts and we seek to expand upon this solid foundation. And it's been very heartening to see that member states have listened and agreed on the need for a victim-centred approach.
In memory of the 23 people that died at the UN House, wreaths were laid to keep their thoughts alive. In the words of UN Secretary General, the wounds and scar terrorism cause are unimaginable and may never truly heal. It is therefore our collective responsibility to help victims build their resilience by giving support to their needs and rights. Moyo Thomas, TVC News